I want to talk to you today about the kin representatives. This is something that kin has introduced this month, and it is really interesting. This is something that is relevant to the kin community that is active now, and to those who were active a while ago and are, popping in and out on kin Reddit or Twitter. So maybe, hopefully, this will get you guys engaging. It is really cool. So the Kin Foundation has introduced the kin representatives. Now, the kin representative is basically an advisory group. So the purpose of it is to be sort of the channel to the community, be a channel to the developers, to the kin holders. Essentially, the representatives channel the conversations and the ideas between the community and the kin foundations themselves, between the kin foundation and the developers and what they're getting up to, what projects they're working on, what they're doing with other projects, any concerns they have. All that information gets fed back to the kin foundation through the representatives, and also with the kin holders. So the kin holders could be asking, what are the developers getting on, or what are the community doing? Because these holders could be active in the community or were active, but they're still part of the community, but are not really keeping up with the conversation, the technology that's being developed, all that stuff. So it is really important that these representatives make sure they target the community in all aspects, which is really important. Okay, so the kin representatives, this is what they essentially do. Now, this is all from the Medium post that I read, and I'm going to summarize it for you guys. The kin representatives will contain from 3 to 4 individuals for a initial 1-year term, but we'll get to that. So these 4 individuals will have the ability and the opportunity to participate in board meetings. So every month there will be a video conference, and in this video conference the representatives will sit and talk with non-executive members from the kin foundation, and they will discuss the project itself and everything in between. I'm not sure what the main subject of everything is, but I'm sure that's all set out, but that's not relevant. The idea is that the kin representatives will be given the opportunity to speak to the kin foundation and give their concern, give their ideas, give their feedback from the community or the developers or the holders, etc. So, just imagine your representatives. You've been speaking all month to all these individuals from the kin community, the developers, etc. And then you're in this video conference and you're just sharing out all this ideas, all this feedback. I've spoken to this guy and he wants to do this, or he's really interested in that, and the community is starting to grow interested in this aspect of the kin project. There's just so many things you can do with this. So that is good. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you had 4 individuals that are doing this, one could, target developers alone, and the other one could maybe target the kin holders, and the other one could target the community on kin and Reddit, etc. So it is, you can tackle this in many ways. Okay, the kin representatives, they will have the ability to influence how the kin reserves are allocated, which is really interesting. So let's say that the kin community says, we're interested in this or that, or God knows what the discussion will be, or the developers say you want to allocate some to this technology or this app or that. The representatives will have the ability to influence that, as in not execute the actual handing of the reserve, but saying, we suggest you should do that, or we think it's a good idea that you do this, and that will develop. Now, what the representatives cannot do is be voting members on the board. So obviously, on the board, you have all these members who have now taken in all the feedback, all the information, all the chatter, and they will decide on what to execute and what to shelve, or what to pause for next time, basically. So they can discuss strategic, non-binding assistance and support. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The reps can discuss and provide strategic, non-binding advice, and assistance and support. So that's directly from the Medium page. So that's something that they can do, but they just can't vote. So essentially what this means to me is the reps can basically chat to everyone, influence the decision, but not actually vote on it, which seems fair. Seems fair to me. Which is really interesting. So, you know, the power that, well, not power, the ability that the kin rep has been given on this board is tremendous, to be honest, because you're sitting there and, you know, you can essentially push for something, and if everybody agrees to it, then, you know, you're going to get the go-ahead, which is really cool. So that's why we need people who are really active in the project, who are interested in the project, who want this kin project to succeed, to put in the work and to speak to everybody and just to see how we can move forward effectively, positively. Now, let's talk about the selection process. Did I forget something? Okay. The reps will be selected by the board based on their passion for the kin project, credentials, and experience. So I'm assuming here that the board will get in all the applications and obviously go through all the applications, decide, well, this person seems really interested in the kin project. He says he's really interested, and, you know, he's done this for the community, he's done that, he's been very active on Reddit, for example, or Twitter, or whatever. This could be on any social media platform, or on Medium writing articles, or maybe that rep could be a developer himself or herself, and they're working on projects that are very integrated with the kin ecosystem. So they want people who are already hands-on with kin, who are already involved with kin, but that is not the exception. So if you are somebody that is really interested in kin and love the project, but you just haven't really exposed yourself on the social media platforms or on different aspects of kin, but you want to start doing it now because this interests you, then please apply as well. We need people who do share their opinions online and who do provide content, whether it's programmatical or on social media, or you know, discussing ideas on Medium, or somebody who's been doing exactly that but just not sharing it with the community, and who says, you know, I'm ready now, I'm ready to do this, I'm ready to talk about that, so go for it, you know, apply. Okay. Also, the reps will enter into a confidentiality agreement, which obviously is important. You know, imagine you're speaking about different topics that are really private for the project, and could have major consequences if somebody splurs it out too soon. So, you know, non-disclosure, of course, you get that. Oh, and by the way, this is really interesting. The representatives will receive a quarterly payment of kin. So if you're interested in being a kin representative, engaging in the community, feeding all this information back to the Kin Foundation, influencing decisions, you'll get paid for it in kin, but there is a 1-year holding process for this. So if you get accepted and become a rep, you get a quarterly payment of kin, but that will be locked for a year. Seems fair. Seems very fair to me. Also, there is no limit on the number of representatives that are initially taken in. So they've set this out to be a new group, a new side project for kin, to help kin grow, essentially. They said we will start with 3 or 4 people, to serve 1 year. But all of that is flexible, all of that is dynamic. That 1 year can change into 2 years, can change into 3 years. Those 3 individuals can change into 5, into 10. Let's see how it goes, you know. Take your first 3 or 4 people, do it for a year, do it for 3 months, and maybe 3 months in, they're like, you know, this is working great. I'm really liking the success of this. The community's liking it. We're liking it. You know, the Kin Foundation is liking this. You know, every month they get to sit there, video conference. They're getting all this feedback, and they're like, oh my god, I never knew that's what they're thinking, or this idea or that. You know, just imagine the possibilities. So, definitely space to grow. And also on the meetings, the video conferences, they will be held, I'm not sure if it's relevant now, but just for your information, it will be held on the third Monday of every month at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your time zone, make sure that is alright with you, make sure that doesn't interfere with your work, or if it does, if you could maybe take time off, like a break, to actually take part in this video conference. So yeah, it might matter to you. So third Monday of every month at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And when you apply, make sure that you want to contribute, that you like this project, and that you judge this project. Don't apply if you're going to just go in there and be like, yes, this is fine, this is great, I like this, I like that. You have to say, no, I don't like this. No, I disagree with that. You have to you have to question all the decisions, because they need that sort of feedback. If they get in 4 people and they're just going to agree with what they're saying, it's not going to work out. You need to judge, you need to be critical, you need to decide what is good or not for the project, and discuss. Okay? It's really important that you have your own ideas, your own mind, and your own interest in a way in kin that these others won't have, and that's exactly what they need. So if you are interested, please apply. I will put the link for the application in the description box below. So just click on that link and it will take you there. And thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.